Okay, let's just get right into it. Welcome to a very special, highly exclusive sneak peek. I am absolutely pumped today because we're going behind the scenes. We're giving you a VIP, all-access pass into a brand new playbook that is, quite frankly, going to completely change your financial trajectory. We're diving into the new release, Home Deal Negotiation. And look, let's be clear, this isn't some dry, dusty textbook, and it's definitely not a generic listicle you'd stumble across in some random real estate blog. No way. This is the ultimate, psychology-driven masterclass on winning real estate deals, whether you're a buyer, a seller, or an investor. So grab a notepad and buckle up, because we're pulling back the curtain on the exact frameworks the pros use to secure absolute leverage.
And to show you what that leverage actually looks like, I want to hit you with a massive number right out of the gate, $34,130. So what is that? Well, according to the hard data in this book, that is the exact amount of compound interest savings you unlock from just a single $15,000 price drop on a standard 30-year mortgage. Think about that for a second. Just by applying the advice from literally one chapter, you aren't just saving 15 grand today. Actually, scratch that. It's way bigger. You are actively protecting over $34,000 of your future wealth. That is the true scale of the game we're playing here.
Which brings us to a kind of uncomfortable question. Are you paying the fear tax? Let's just be completely real with each other. Most of us are secretly terrified of real estate negotiations. We're sweating over offending the seller, or we're worried about looking cheap, or worse, losing our absolute dream home. So what do we usually do? We just cave. We accept the very first number they slide across the table. We pay the fear tax. What's brilliant about this text is that it completely validates that anxiety. It makes you feel seen. But then, it hands you the definitive step-by-step roadmap to get yourself unstuck. It proves that avoiding a simple 10-minute conversation is literally the single most expensive mistake of your entire life.
Now, right away in Chapter 1, there's this incredible aha moment where the author completely flips how you view negotiation. You know how Hollywood tells us we need to be the table pounder, the amateur who comes in super hot, throws down ultimatums, and basically creates enemies out of everyone? Well, this playbook reveals that true power actually belongs to the calm architect. This is the expert who walks into a deal with curiosity, not combat. They've done their homework, they uncover the seller's hidden constraints, and they structure an offer that actually solves the other side's problems in exchange for a way better price. It's a total paradigm shift.
And this perfectly tees up what the author calls the care least principle. The person who is most willing to walk away from the deal controls the negotiation. This right here, this is exactly why this premium read absolutely crushes a generic Google search. If you search online, what do you get? Just be confident. Yeah, thanks for nothing. This text actually gives you the exact psychological techniques, the real mindset of detachment to genuinely uncouple your personal identity from a transaction. When you can look at a deal and truly, honestly accept that you'll be perfectly fine without it, you completely flip the script on who holds the power.
But what if you're the one selling? Well, there's this incredible strategy funnel that forces sellers to confront their emotional premium. You know what I mean? That highly inflated sense of value you have just because of your family memories or those custom renovations you love. This process walks you through exactly how to strip all that emotion away. It helps you calculate your true hard stop versus your walkaway price. It completely transforms your listing price from just a hopeful fingers crossed guess into a highly strategic opening move.
Now, whether you're buying or selling, the ultimate secret weapon here is the ZOPA, the Zone of Potential Agreement. When you get to this section, it honestly feels like you're being handed the keys to the kingdom. You can see exactly how a buyer's settlement range overlaps right on top of the seller's. The text vividly explains how to go in, gather intelligence, figure out the other side's absolute worst-case scenario, and then structure the perfect opening move. And you do this using precise, non-round numbers so you drop this immovable anchor without leaving a single dime on the table.
And speaking of making moves, this next concept is literally worth the price of the book 50 times over. We've all been taught our whole lives to just meet in the middle, right? Well, the author completely calls this out as the ultimate amateur trap. Splitting the difference just signals to the other side that you have this deep, endless well of cash. The massive expert aha moment here is the strategy of decreasing increments. You move by $10,000, then maybe $3,000, and finally $1,000. These mathematical tapers subconsciously signal your absolute financial limit to the other person, practically forcing them to accept the deal before you stop moving entirely. I mean, it is just pure genius.
Beyond just the numbers, this curated masterclass is absolutely packed with these elite, rapid-fire frameworks that completely separate the pros from the amateurs. You get the strategic flinch, so you can harness the raw power of an awkward pause. The depersonalized no. hands you the exact script to blame the math rather than the person, which perfectly preserves your relationship. The safety/structural filter shows you exactly how to navigate those terrifying home inspections without blowing up the whole deal. And, of course, defending against the nibble. You know, those sneaky last-minute requests right before closing. These are the ultimate battle-tested shortcuts.
So let's shift gears for a second and talk about the investor mindset, because Chapter 4 builds this into something else entirely. There is this huge transformation here from a homeowner's emotional desperation to a true investor's pipeline mentality. You learn to ruthlessly apply mathematical clarity using strict investor benchmarks like the 1% and 70% rules. An investor doesn't negotiate out of nostalgia, right? They rely on hard data. They calculate exact cap rates and cash returns to guarantee true profitability. And the best part is, this text teaches you how to borrow that exact institutional edge, even if you are just buying a standard family home.
But here's the best part. You aren't just left with a bunch of high-level theory. The playbook actually arms you with tangible physical tools, like this incredible first 48 hours checklist. Before you ever set foot in a property or put your home on the market, you sit down, you calculate your hard stop, you research your 3 comps, and you lock in your unnegotiables. Having this worksheet physically sitting on your desk guarantees that you will never, ever negotiate against your own emotions again. It forces you to trust the math over your own pulse.
When you pull all of these pieces together, what you get is a completely bulletproof system. It's a total transformation. You go from being an uncontrolled, emotional mess at the closing table to a highly controlled, math-based engine. You define your hard stop. You anchor their expectations. You filter the middle, and you verify the finish. It is this beautiful, compounding system that will literally protect hundreds of thousands of dollars over the course of your lifetime. So, let's break down the hard math one last time. You've got buyer A who takes action and buyer B who stays silent just out of pure fear. Over 30 years, paying for that temporary peace of mind literally costs buyer B tens of thousands of dollars in compound interest, money that buyer A just gets to keep sitting in their bank account. The urgency here is absolutely massive. Every single time you enter a real estate transaction without this system, you're essentially just volunteering to hand your future wealth over to the bank.
Look, you've seen the elite frameworks, you've seen the mind-blowing math, and you know exactly what is at stake here. Staying stuck and continuing to pay the fear tax is hands down the single most expensive choice you can make right now. So you really have to ask yourself, at your very next closing table, are you going to be the one controlling the deal or the one leaving tens of thousands of dollars behind? Head over to $5ebookhub.com, fuel your mind for less than the cost of a morning coffee.